file. Open up the XPI, edit max version in the file install.rdf, update the archive, and install it. And I'll give you an example here. Also, keep in mind that not all extensions are official, and when you sign in, you also have access to what are called experimental extensions, ones that aren't officially approved by Mozilla yet, so that may give you access to those. Now, keep in mind, there may be reasons why they're experimental, but this is as simple as possible. I opened the XPI of a file and in a program called 7-Zip, which is it's freeware, it's out there, it's easy to use. I opened install.rdf in Notepad, and if you see that line, it says max version 2.0. Change it to something greater than what you're running. So I just changed it to 4.0. Now, this is not guaranteed to work for everything because, again, there's reasons why Firefox 2 is different from Firefox 3. It may break. This, for example, this is a download manager tweak extension, which actually did not fix it. So save this file, update the archive, double-click again on the XPI file, install it. 9 times out of 10, it's going to work for you.
If I might add, this morning I was able to use this using WinZip and WordPad to update the XSS.me, AccessMe, and ExploitMe. So if you're interested in those 3, this technique does work for those 3.
So you got all this cool stuff now, and you want to practice. The first thing I want to mention, if you were in here for the previous talk, we've already mentioned the DICE pen testing CDs. These are really cool. John and I have gone through all the levels of this, and trust me, that second level is tough. Now, we weren't doing it 8 hours a day, but it took us about a month to get through it. I mean, it's pretty tough. So don't suspect that it's going to be, point, click, own. It's not that easy. OWASP has, see, I spelled it right on this one. OWASP has a project now called WebGoat, and this is pretty cool. It's a lot easier. You don't have to download as many things. It just downloads Apache Tomcat and a few other things, and it allows you to walk through. Pretty good tool. Again, it's mostly web-based stuff. Foundstone has a series of HackMe websites, like HackMe Bank and HackMe Travel Agency, and so you can go through, and they're intentionally have small vulnerabilities in them. So another thing that you can download to try out. The pen testing CDs I already mentioned. Some people like VMware, set up a server with a bunch of VMware images running on it and use that as your targets. And then there are safe hacking websites out there. I put safe in parentheses, and I'm not going to mention any specific ones because I can't guarantee you that they're safe. But there's one called hackthisSite.org, and like I said, I'm not endorsing any specific sites because sites may not be safe, but there are sites out there that allow you to practice and do sorts of things like that on. And then again, just a disclaimer, don't be stupid and hack something you don't have permission to. I mean, yes, you get that rush of like, I just did something illegal and nobody's going to find out, because if you do something wrong and it crashes a site or something like that, that you did something that you didn't intend to do, that's just you're just being dumb then. And it's been talked about before, the myth of the more I hack, the more elite I am, somebody will hire me. There's very few people who go that route. There's a lot more people sitting in jail, or not everybody is Kevin Mitnick. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he's one of the few that kind of went he started his own business, so it's not like somebody hired him. This is the stuff we talked about. First, using the Firefox as a standalone browser. So just using the tools, website-based tools, Google Hacks, a bunch of extensions and plugins that you may have known of a few. How many of you have seen something today, like an extension or something that I was like, wow, I didn't know I could do that, and that's pretty cool. How many, did everybody find something useful out of it? Great, great. Using Firefox as a front end, and we didn't talk about FISA once.
Till now.
I will also not mention anything political. And then recommended setup, places to hack safely. There's a lot of ideas out there for other extensions, and you can go to Firefox and you can make your own extensions. They have templates, and if you want Firefox to do if you want Firefox to do something that it doesn't do, figure out if you might be able to figure it out yourself if someone else hasn't already done it. We've got about 5 minutes left, and we will open it up for questions. We ask that if you're going to ask questions, please go to the microphone so that it gets recorded and we can hear you and everyone else can hear you. Because if you yell at us, somebody else may not be able to talk to you. I think it's off.
Check for a switch.
Maybe not. Just yell it out. Yeah, let's see. Where are we going to post it?
Can you give me a card or something like that, and if I post it, I'll send it out to a mailing list?
We'll try to give this to the Hope folks, and then so that hopefully you can get it via their website. That's probably the easiest way. Otherwise, just ask us for the contact information and we can post it.
The mic doesn't work.
Just come up and ask. Microphone in the back isn't working.
What's your website?
I don't have a website.
Websites, user agreements about. So, what is the specific language that they use? Like, what would you be looking for in their terms of
Varies
service?
for every site. What we really encourage you to do, if you're engaged to do a pen test of a site for a
Yeah,
company.
and let me just preface this by, I'm thinking more in the sense of if you want to order something from a site, but maybe like, I want to see if this, they aren't using, certain validation, is all my stuff going to be stolen?
One, you want to make sure the site's encrypted. There's a number of different plugins and add-ins that you can add these days that will check a site to see if it is
I work in.
secure and safe. McAfee's got one that is fairly good.
Okay.
We do a lot of work back and forth.
Were to come up and
2 years for BA systems, and also I'm over there all the time. So I want to give you my card.
Cool.
So I
From-
can get a copy of the slides.
Yeah, we'll give them to the Hope folks, and we'll find a way to get them online.
Site Advisors, what it's called, McAfee Site
Oh,
Advisor.
yeah, actually, I have that.
Yeah, that's one I found is very, very useful.